Quick one, if you enjoyed the video, then do us a favor and subscribe. I made a promise to my pet fish's pet cat's girlfriend that if I hit 10k by the end of the year, then I'll buy them a can of Fanta. Also, thanks to these two for the suggestion. Load up God of War. Start a new game. Welcome to a tree. You are Kratos, demigod, father killer, and general murderman. And you're trying to seduce this tree, which has rejected your seduction, and we know what happens to things that say no to you. After teaching the tree a lesson, you and a walking advertisement for contraception go to carry it to your boat. This is Atreus, your son, who you enjoy having wonderful conversations with. Take the tree back to your house, which has a giant burrito inside it. Wait, that's not a burrito, that's your dead wife. You have collected this tree to cremate her. Atreus garnishes your wife, probably still thinking she's a burrito, and you carry her outside to begin cremating. Your wife's dying wish was for her ashes to be spread on the highest peak, so while she's, you take Atreus hunting to test if he's ready to go on that big fuck-off errand. Spoiler, he's not. He kills this deer, but then some big troll takes it, so you kill it, and I feel like this is what I look like in Apex after being carried to a win with 300 damage and 0 kills. But now go collect your wife's ashes in a little baggie, and tell Atreus he's not ready, because when he gets angry, he also starts to cough. I imagine it's like a Greek mythologic form of asthma, and until he gets that shit under control, we ain't going nowhere. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door, and you best believe it isn't your Amazon parcel containing your blow-up dinosaur costume. It's some random tattooed crackhead. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. He wants to find someone, but you want him to leave, which is a conflict of interests, so you both exchange fisticuffs. He's got God mode on and can't feel pain, at least until you snap his neck, which I feel like God mode would still kind of protect him, but I guess not. Go back to your son, and since this dude just turned up on your doorstep, it's obviously not safe to stay here, so even though he's not ready, we're doing that thing with the ashes. While heading to the mountain, you find this dwarf called Brock, who is one of the guys who made your axe, and he offers to upgrade your shit for free, which is an interesting business strategy. Anyway, you tried to get Atreus to do more hunting so he can get better at it, but after shooting this boar, we find out that it's actually this lady's friend. This is the Witch of the Woods, and even though you nearly murdered her porky friend, she's not angry at you. She picks up on the fact that you're a god through some magical shit and advises you to tell your son, because he just thinks you're some average Joe with superpowers. You just tell her to mind a damn business, so she wipes some magic goo on your necks, and you leave to continue up the mountain. To get to the mountain, you need to sail into this ocean, where you find a statue of Thor and some other statue that has a sign on it telling you not to litter in the ocean. This is why you don't litter in the ocean. Just kidding, this is the world snake. What a coincidence, that's what girls call my dick. Even though he's massive, he's a nice guy and kinda just waffles some shit in a language you don't understand before going to sleep on this hill. The world snake moving caused the sea level to drop, revealing this big fuck-off bridge leading to the mountain, which I've got to say is very convenient. Here you find Brock's brother, who's just like another upgrade guy we can go to. It's at this point where you start getting into the mountainy bit of the mountain, where you find this black smoke blocking your path. Luckily, the Witch of the Wood and her magical power is here. She can't, do anything about it. The only way to get through it is by using some light from another realm. Which lady is willing to show us where to get the light, so we go back to the bridge, which is also like a teleporter thing that can take us to different realms, and we go to Alphein. Which lady knows her time in the plot is up for now, so gets hoovered away, so you and Atreus explore Alphein. There's currently a war between some elves in this place. For some reason they want to get you guys involved, which probably wasn't smart, because you kill literal gods as a hobby, so some lanky winged cunt with a pointy stick shouldn't be too much trouble. You destroy some dark elf plant goo and find the light. When you step into it, because that's what you're supposed to do, the baggie of your wife's ashes starts dancing, and I'll be honest, that's not a normal thing for a bag of dead human ashes to do, but you follow it anyway, whilst listening to audio files of your son talking shit about you. Eventually, Atreus pulls you out of the light, being like, what the fuck, Papa? We were gone for ages. When you look around, Atreus has nearly sent the Dark Elves into extinction, which is awkward, but at least you've got the light now, so you find your way out after letting these light elves back into their home. Atreus is kind of mad at you because you left him for ages, and he thinks you're not sad about your wife, which you are. You're just an average guy hiding his emotions. Back in Midgard, that's the realm you guys are living in. Use your freshly collected light to remove the smoke, then begin the climb up the mountain. Better get used to this place because you're gonna be here for a while. But there's many fun things for you to do here, like killing Draugr, solving puzzles, killing trolls, solving more puzzles, killing giant electric breathing dragons that are very dangerous and could potentially kill you since they're the size of a small town. Solving more puzzles. Finally, you reach the summit, ready to spread your wife's ashes on this mountain like it's butter on toast. But wait, that's the guy whose neck you snapped. He's called Balder. He's one of Odin's sons, and as you can tell, he's alive. He's asking some tree about you, which sounds crazy, and you'd think he's lost his mind until the tree responds telling him to piss off. Oh wait, it's just a guy. This is Mimir, the supposed smartest guy alive, but let's be honest, if he was smart, he wouldn't be stuck in a tree. Odin put him here and has been torturing him because Odin's like a bit of a dick. Atreus tells him about the thing with the ashes, and he's sort of just like, like, yeah, nah, wrong mountain, mate, which is a bit of a kick in the dick. The actual highest peak is in a place called Jotunheim, where the giants live. Only problem is our teleporter thing can't actually teleport there. The only gate that works is this one, and you need a special rune to open it. Now, if only there was a certain smartest man alive who knew the location of the rune. Don't worry, we're just gonna get the witch to resurrect him. Mimir, like the witch, also knows that you're a god through some magical shit and says some bad stuff is gonna happen if you don't tell your son he's part god. Back at the witch's gaff, she revives Mimir's head for you. She also gets angry about Atreus having some green arrows. I'm not sure why. Maybe her favorite color is blue or something. And Mimir tells us her name is Freya. She's a goddess, which will be important in a bit. Anyway, we want to go to Jotunheim, so speak to the world snake. I know he speaks some weird language, but you've got a translator in the form of a severed head, and you learn you need two things: special chisel and runes. Sadly, you can't just go down to your nearest B&Q and buy a chisel. No, you need a magical chisel that's the size of a skyscraper and lodged inside this giant's head. That won't stop you though, so after causing a minor natural disaster with a big hammer, you go to retrieve a piece of the chisel. That's when Thor's sons Modi and Magni show up trying to fight you because they're the bad guys and that. So you fight them, Magni dies by accident or on purpose. It depends how you look at it. Then Modi gets scared and runs away. During the fight, Modi was making your mom jokes and Atreus clearly took them personally because he got angry and starts with his asthma again. But on the bright side, we got a slice of that magical chisel pie, so we just need to learn the runes for the gateway and we should be sound. This static shitbag tries to get the drop on you, which works. You are severely dropped and carries on making your mom jokes. Atreus gets even angrier, but unlike your anger that allows you to go steroid mode, his just allows him to be useless and pass out. So you punch Modi, for some reason you let him run away, probably to show up later to make more mum jokes as part of Atreus' character development. Oh yeah, speaking of, he's gonna be a plot point like Batman's parents soon, so we should take him to Freya. She offers to help, but she needs some heart from a guy in a realm called Helheim. Apparently your axe doesn't work there, so you have to get these cool looking blades that definitely don't have a huge backstory that I can't be bothered explaining. Go to Helheim using your bridge teleporter. Helheim is supposed to be like the place where the dead people go, so I feel like it's a bit weird that someone built a teleporter to go there when they fancy it. Anyway, find the gatekeeper of the Bridge of the Damned. He's basically just a big troll with a cool skin, and we know what happens when you fight trolls. With the heart, you go back to Freya. She makes some magical porridge that Atreus enjoys, so he wakes up and you decide to come clean about his godness. Basically, you didn't want to tell him because being a god is kind of shit, but that's what's making him sick and stuff, so yeah, hopefully that's sorted now and there will be no problems about this later. So with his Greek asthma cured, you can finally go get this rune for the gateway to Jotunheim. It's behind this big pile of puzzles, trolls, and only likes to be touched by your son. Take that as you will. I tell you what, I wish we hadn't told the little shit the truth, because he develops a literal god complex and starts dogging on the dwarf guy, and even his own mom, which is literally the reason we're here right now. On the way back up the mountain, we find Modi, who looks banged up because Thor blamed him for Magni's death. Atreus gets mouthy because he's Mr. Billy God Bollocks now, and kills Modi after another mom joke when you told him not to. You aren't happy with him, he carries on being a cocky little shit, and I think it's at this point you regretted not using a rubber. Finally, at the top, you open the gate to Jotunheim. It won't be long now before your quest is over and you can go home. Balder turns up looking for a fight, because when has he ever wanted anything else? The portal gets destroyed while you're fighting, and Atreus shoots you to take you out of the fight because he thinks he can beat Balder by himself. And I tell you what, I'll forgive Balder just because he showed your son that he's a little bitch. Anyway, for some reason he kidnaps your son, you chase after him on his dragon, you fight some more, and then you both crash into the bridge teleporter. Balder tries to use the teleporter to open the gate to his home Asgard, but you stop it and send everyone to Helheim, which in case you haven't noticed, isn't where you want to be. It's where dead people live, and at the moment you're not that. It's at this point you decide to go all Daddy Kratos and tell Atreus that if there was a receipt for him, you'd be getting a refund. While trying to find a way out of Helheim, you find Balder watching some memory of him and Freya. Big plot twist, she's his mom, and the reason he can't feel pain or die, and he hates her for it. But that's none of your business, so we get on a boat that takes us home. Sort of. Not really. We're in Odin's gaff, and through this convenient wall art, we learn that there's another way to get to Jotunheim. Also, while you're on the boat, there's this memory of you fighting Zeus, who's your dad. Atreus doesn't know about that, but now he kind of does, so you awkwardly try to talk to him about it, and he kind of just brushes it off, almost like he doesn't want to know, so yeah, that happened. The dwarves make you a key that we need to get to a special part of the bridge teleporter, and you find this cool looking rock which restores the gate to Jotunheim, so you can use the bridge to teleport to it, and finally we can spread those fucking ashes. Never mind, there's no travel crystal. Right, so basically Odin nicked one of Mimir's eyes, so we need to get it back because we can use the eye as a makeshift travel crystal. Only problem is, it was on that statue of Thor that we saw at the start. I didn't show this earlier, but this is a problem because... yeah, so basically, what started as a quest to spread ashes has us rowing a boat into the stinky mouth of a snake the size of a mountain. Next time, just spread her in your back garden, you dick. You go into the snake's mouth, get the eye, and can finally go to Jotunheim. God damn it. Something attacked the world snake, causing it to spit you out kind of far from your destination. Freya turns up mostly for plot convenience because it was Balder who hurt Snaky Poo, and finally he confronts his mother. This is where shit gets really crazy because you and him fight and you're like bam, 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 and he's like boom, boom, boom. Then you get trapped by Freya, who's trying to stop you both from fighting, and Atreus stands between you and Balder. Balder punches him, but psych, he got his hand caught on some mistletoe on Atreus' quiver, and apparently that was the magical ingredient to remove his super god mode, so now he can feel pain and shit again, so you all keep fighting. That's why Freya didn't want Atreus to have those green arrows that one time. Turns out Balder is a raging masochist and loves getting the shit kicked out of him, and Freya is still trying to stop you both from fighting like a parent who can't control her children. She even reanimates the giant to try and stop you. It doesn't work, but Atreus apparently learned to speak World Snake and asks him to get involved. Then we tag team the fuck out of Balder to the point where he can't really fight. We don't kill him, but as he goes to choke out his mum, we decide his head looks better rotated 180 degrees. Freya isn't happy that we just killed her son. Like, get over it, we saved your life. You also tell Atreus about your naughty behavior, like killing your dad and stuff, but use it to teach him that you can be the god you choose to be, or some bollocks. Now finally we can try go to Jotunheim for the millionth time. You load up the teleporter bridge and use Mimir's face to open the gate, and this time nobody stops you, which is bloody great. You walk up to the peak, and on the way you learn your wife was a giant, so Atreus be part god, part giant, which sounds pretty OP, even if he is a midget. She also predicted that all the stuff with Balder and that would happen, so I guess she got the ability to see the future. It's a shame she couldn't use that to stop herself from dying. There's also this picture of you both sucking on a snake. I'm not sure what that's about, but you go to the peak, spread them ashes around. Well, actually, you just throw them in the air, which was dumb. The ashes are gonna blow off the peak now, so what the fuck was the point in coming up here? What started as a game about two angry boys trying to spread some dead ladies' ashes around resulted in you killing gods and people and stuff and throwing ashes in the wrong place while being slightly less angry. As you complete God of War.